I'm not perfect and all. I definitely ain't. I ain't no saint neither. Do you know what I mean? I'm not. None of. I've been a cunt in my life. I've been loving in my life. I haven't been so loving. I've used. People have used me. I've been every single thing that you can imagine, right? And did I stay stuck as that person? It's sometimes, yes. In some aspects, yeah. But, you know, I spent a lot of my life, yeah? And I'm not saying this in a negative way, although it may sound negative to other ears who haven't been through it. Just being shut away by humans. Mum shut me away, the school shut me away. Oh, it's just bad kid, constant shouting and all the rest of it. And yet there was just this something in me that just never left me alone. Never left me lonely. And then, you know, I never really want to talk about it because, you know, there's such a stigma with mental health.
Yeah.
And here's a drug for you to numb down on this, and here's this, this, and this. But I swear to you on anything, and then maybe I'm saying that, and perhaps someone will say that when you say you swear something, it means you're not being genuine. That every single one of the thoughts that I've had and the drawings that I've drew, and you have drew the drawings of the paper formats that I have drawn to show you what is in my mind, you are able to recreate through me giving you that and some input into you. You're able to create what I see. That's something else, right? That's incredible, yeah? Do you not find that extremely weird how it also can travel through you? It's like an open door, like a two-way door, one in and out. All of those thoughts, and I don't say I say those thoughts, have come from this. So are they technically mine? I don't know. I feel like they are. And then I sit there and ask, like, is it because I've been here before and I'm just condensing that data? I'm compacting that data by combining more of the physical with the quantum. Once more, and just really compacting that information. Because how I see it in the mind, and then I draw it, and then I add some more details to it, like, just keep going with this detail adding, and then I look at it, and I'm obsessed with what has been created. I kind of like looking at it a lot. And then when I shut my eyes, I can now visualize this new form of what I first saw it as, and now I've added more physical to it, and now I'm memorizing it. I'm then sending it back into the quantum again. It's like this two-way street, right? And if it be a door, it means what comes through can also go back. And it's almost like we are condensing this data, and then they'll say, oh, but meditation, right? I told you about this thing that I saw. I didn't go into too many details. Was writing about it on Facebook, I think, many years ago. And I didn't want to go into too much, so it's just like the little dots around the TV sort of thing. There's a lot of stigma in the world. A lot of people don't understand. Now, I don't care. I don't care, because if I do anything or don't do anything, I'm going to be judged either way, and I think that's a form of inaction anyway. No action is a form of inaction, or whatever. And I never really come out with it. Like, it's just like, because everyone's just like, oh, you can be sectioned for such little stuff. Do you get what I mean? And I'm not mentally ill. I'm not going to say that. I absolutely detest hearing that people say that they're mentally ill. And maybe some people are. I don't know. But I don't feel like I am, because this stuff is not making me do bad stuff. Do you get what I mean? It's not like saying, oh, let's go and do this. No, it's not saying that. It's helping me to help you. Humanity, then, in a way, I guess, because I don't take any of this stuff with me, anything that I may design or anything else, but what it does is it causes a sparking. I look at it like the explosion happens and then it explodes in your head and everybody else's. Do you get what I mean by that? Like, I'll take an idea and say, here, what about this? And then someone's like, whoa, 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 and it's just like this fire crackling effect just takes off. It kind of irritated me for a while that people would just like take this from me constantly, and then they keep you down whilst constantly using you like some. I think that's mental health. That is not right. You know, once they get rich and named, do you know what I mean? And then it's just like, you know, you haven't contributed anything. Oh, man, whew. Really? What? Because I haven't given anything to you for free? But it's not yours anyway. Okay, yeah, all right then, and we'll settle a bet then, shall we? Then, and then, it's sometimes it's so strong. I can see it over my vision. It's fainter than sight itself, but sometimes it can be quite strong. This particular one, the ultraviolet one. You know, I was doing this session with Tim, and we were doing some stuff. Yeah, that's when someone else started coming. I was like, whoa! If I thought of any mental health problem or episode that it was happening at that moment for most of my life, do you get what I mean? Was something to go on? Hey Tim, we got a whole bunch of other issues to deal with. We can forget about Mum for a little while. Can we focus now? I'm seeing two of these fucking things. And they sort of dance around each other, and I'm just like, whoa. That one comes down when meditating, that one, and interacts more so with the other one. And it's almost like there's northern lights, and I hear people saying that it's just DMT, it's just a hallucination. But what about if it was one of those, but the DMT is a chemical that is being sprayed on it that's acting like high-charged particles, like what you get when the sun releases a lot. But there again, the sun is releasing that, and that's interacting with the earth. And therefore, it doesn't make much sense to say that something is in... But there again, I asked this question to you, like, if the sun wasn't as bright as what it is, does it have northern and southern lights from other stars shooting out their high particles? Because remember that the sun is protecting us from interstellar radiation. So if the sun wasn't as bright and it was dark, would it have northern and southern lights?
I think so.
So therefore the black holes that anyone has found should reveal northern and southern lights then on it. If it is what it is, and it's highly magnetic, then there should be some pictures come out of NASA that would be showing you that there is some... You would find black holes based on this sort of northern light effect, because stars are discharging an awful lot of stuff. Therefore, it would be responding with the magnetism within it, and therefore it's dark. So, you know, this is where a lot of things don't make a lot of sense to me, and then I can't fit it into, is it that? I think it's a heavy atom, and I think that when paying attention to it, there's another atom inside of that atom, and if I was able to zoom in, and then this one now becomes the outer picture, is there another one inside it? I think there is. I think it's up to 9. Like these just... Russian dolls, you know, like when you open up one and then you've got another doll and then you open that one up and then that one up and then that one up. This is what I think it governs us all. Like this heavy atom. Atom within an atom within an atom within an atom within an atom. Almost. And then where does it start? Which bit of this is coming from where and how? And then I just wonder, that is the human brain actually that possible of absorbing all that memory? I don't think it is. And if it isn't, which then it means it's being sent to this place, and where is that place it's going to? Why the need to store that information if there wasn't going to be a life after death? And your essence of your soul. And if it is coming through you, where is it coming from? You know, and then that's when it got me thinking about atomic computers. You know, when we're doing those videos, we've got those videos where we're talking about splicing an atom, and then it has an ability to communicate with the other atom splice, and splice, and splice, and splice. Which I was talking about splicing probably a very long time ago on the comments spelt with a C, talking about splicing the worm. This was just when I was sort of feeling the water of, you know, using something else. You know, we do distance ourselves from what stigma is what it is. Stigma of being mentally ill or different. I do, anyway. I don't know about you. It's kind of something... I'm not exactly jumping from the rooftop saying, I'm mental! I just did. Everyone else probably, yes, he is! Well done. But, you know, it's... do you know what I mean? I know everyone is probably doing that, so... I don't know. It's kind of weird thing to do that, but yeah, just this whole thing, and then people are saying when they're meditating, it's like there is nothing, and I'm just like, okay. Then I'm still on the weird page. Then I'm still sitting somewhere where no one else is experiencing this, and then how can I relate to this? And then someone else was sort of talking about something, like an awakening and different stuff like that. And then I was just a little bit like, yeah, sort of. But it felt like it was fishing for info. Did you get what I mean? Like there was some, and trying not to react, keeping a poker face in that situation. Because are you genuinely trying to get this information from
Maybe
me?
Someone
or
like you.
are you a... Because it was after I'd made the post that then there was some sort of talking about this sort of stuff happening around me, and people in white coats might be very easily able to trick you into saying, okay, now you're mentally ill, now you need this medication, now you need that medication, and stuff, and then it's like, whoa, no, I don't think so. No, I'm not. No. I think that if there was a understanding of doing this, and it's all bad and what, that, then maybe. But no, I don't want to, and go through that, because that's not what's happening. And I just wonder where we always see this negative mental health, but we never see any positive mental health. It's like it's all negative. But yet every single thing that you operate inside your house is from someone's quantum mental. Therefore mental health is good. But no one ever labels the good stuff. No, they're always labeling the bad stuff. It's constant label. I'm not a fucking suitcase. I'm not traveling around the world and need another label on my luggage. Do you know what I mean? This belongs to this person, lovely. This is this label because it went there, and then another label. Humans are just so obsessed with labeling everything. I'm a vegan, I'm a vegetarian, I'm a meat eater, I'm this, I'm that. I'm just an adaptive eater. I'm whatever the environment is offering me at the time. Okay? And if all food runs out and there's only earthworms left, well, give me a towel. I'll have a little bib. Worms it is. Raw, not bad. Cook it, also not bad. I want to find another way. If all food runs out and only algae's left, I'm gonna make a soup with that. I want to eat it. Whatever, because it's life. Yes, it's hunger responds, brain survival mode kicks in, heavy atom starts to activate. I don't want to die with that belief of, because I'm so on my labels. And people do, they hold their labels all the way till the end. I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm just different to that. I will switch up that label, believe in and believe out when it suits me, because I can do that. You can do it. Anyone can do it. Believe into something. Yeah, that's nice. Get down and go down the road, got the t-shirt, okay, now I'm coming out of it, I disbelieve. Now I go into something else. Because, if I stuck into one belief and just went into one belief, I would never experience all the other beliefs that are out there. And if life is about beliefs and human psyche is congruent to believe in something, then you would spend your whole life just believing one thing.
But for some people that's the loyalty, isn't it?
Loyalty is a one-way street.
To one belief.
I prefer unity. Because it makes you all kind of united in a way. I think our fundamental label should be hypocrites and unity. The unity will govern you all, but you're hypocritical about certain situations that are in and out. So therefore you can become into believe, and then when you start to disbelieve, it's a wonderful gift, that, isn't it? To be able to believe into something, feel it, love it, get in the moment, get your hands in it, and really feel that sort of one way of thinking, that line of thought, and get right into it. Get deep as you can get into it, love it, and then start to come out of it and wind down from that. And then there's something else. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go into that. Oh, You know, I tried the vegan aspect, I tried the vegetarian aspect, I tried the meat aspect, I tried the fruitarian aspect. You know what? They all got pros and cons. I tried adaptive. Yeah, whatever the environment's offering, yeah, I'll go with that. Because I believe that the body will deal with that eventually, given enough time. Time is thought. Thoughts can condense over time. And I'm still no steps closer to anybody else, and I just don't know. I see some details in this, in some aspects everywhere, but then when I ask people, what does that mean? I don't know. But you've got it in your window. You must know what that means. It's just nice art. Right. Oh. So we go waving around symbols and art that we don't know what it is. I don't understand that. And well, then why?
Then maybe it should have meaning, at least for that person, even if it's not the right meaning.
But if you have taken that from someone and then killed that person, you then lose the meaning because they didn't give it to you. And that's stealing power, is it not? That's a power. That's stealing power. I think that is also very shamed upon. I would believe that should be more negative than positive. That the world will keep operating the same way until perspectives change and people's understanding of that situation. And you know, you can spend a long time doing something that's wrong, but think that it's right, until someone stands up and says, "Hey, do you think this is wrong?" Oh. Like my one is toothpaste. It's very sweet. It's sweet. Why is it so sweet? Well, you mustn't swallow it. Well, then why are we giving kids sweet stuff? What do you think they're going to do?
Something that you are not supposed to swallow as well.
But if it's bitter, they won't do it. No, if it's bitter, they won't swallow it. If you can discipline people to do some of the most extremist stuff that is very extreme, I'm pretty sure you can get people to rub something bitter, salty on the teeth.
Or neutral.
I would say salty, because it activates with what you go with the flow of what the body does in defense mode. So the body, in order to remove anything from the body, it goes salty. So tooth infection is salty. It tastes salty. When you get a cold, you start producing phlegm. It's salt. Well, if you were rubbing salt into your mouth on a daily basis with a toothpaste, yes, okay, in small amounts, we're not talking about overdoing it to the point it tastes like the ocean in some aspects. Is that not going to stop bacteria from entering in the first place? Because we are freshwater beings. If you've ever paid attention to sharks, they swim up into freshwater. It's not because they wanted a change and just to see what it felt like. No, they know that the parasites in salt water can't live in fresh water, but the shark can live a lot longer in the fresh water before needing to go back, and therefore it can kill the parasites. Isn't that interesting? And we don't do anything like that? That's where I say that we do things that are just because we do them. And we don't ever question why we do those things, and therefore we never make a change into why we are doing those certain aspects. And I'm not saying it's right nor wrong and oh, let's just do this and do that. I'm just asking, have you ever thought about it? All toothpastes, to me, are extremely sweet. And then they're like, sugar tax! More sugar tax! Sugar tax! Toothpaste, survive no sugar tax. It is more sweeter than any drink I've drunk. It doesn't make sense to me, that. So I've stopped using toothpaste. And you know what? I've not had any plaque on my teeth. I've been using a different format of toothpaste. I've noticed a change in my mouth. No longer is dry, the fur on my tongue is gone. Man, I'm noticing some benefits. Anybody else want to try some of that? Because I'm confused, a little bit confused with... You know, so if we're freshwater and we go in salt water, like an eel, get the best of both worlds. You sort of lose the things that are in the fresh water can't deal with the salt water, and the ones that are in salt water can't deal with fresh water. Isn't that unusual? But yet animals seem to know this better, and we say that they don't think, they don't know anything. Man, it seems to me that they know an awful lot more than they're letting on. To know how to do that, what drives them to do that? Why do that? How do you know to do that? Did you blow a bubble from your mum, blowing bubbles at you in the ocean when you were a baby shark? Bubble, 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 bubble. This means go up fresh stream. Whales do this really strange thing where they dive down into the pressure and then come back up again. There's a reason why they are doing that. Something has activated, they know something, and something is driving that inner heavy atom in them to keep doing that, not for nothing. There's a purpose behind that, yet to be worked out. But we haven't been awoken enough on the planet long enough in order for us to see, we've only been awake for this long, and the Earth's changing environment is this long. And if we've only been here this much, that's a whole lot of the picture and the puzzle. We just hold a piece of a puzzle. We get a few more pieces of the puzzle as time goes on. Puzzles start to then build the big picture. But we don't have the big picture, and to claim that everything is gospel from a few puzzle pieces, so the thinking needs to be a little more different, doesn't it? Like, we're just observing a few moments and we try and put the pieces of the puzzle together. That's what we're playing, a game of constantly trying to build this big picture. But we've only been here for this long. Do the poles reverse, or does the planet completely roll over on its side? It switches from pole to pole and in an instant just rotates over. I mean, that would explain water displacement, why water would move. And then it would move in a way that now the pyramids would be underwater and everything here would be underwater, and then all other land masses elsewhere would be exposed. You would have new deserts, you'll now have new forests, you now have new this, new that, new everything. Which one is it? Is it that the poles turn inside the planet, or is it that it moves that and makes the whole planet move? Does all the stars in the galaxy just rotate one because the black hole in the center rotates, and therefore all the others rotate their axes, and then it would completely change the whole night sky? It would change an awful lot. It would change everything. Perhaps Uranus landed on its side, not by a meteorite impact, but it just didn't have enough roll in it. Perhaps it's more egg-shaped and the roll was a bit more... I mean, these are the questions I ask, and I just sort of... I feel this, I feel it. They are from the gut, really. It's sort of the gut is sort of responsible for this. This sort of heavy atom sort of is connected with the heart, the stomach, hands, mouth, throat. It seems like it's an awful lot of interacting going on. Anyway, maybe I feel differently because I'm a twin. And in the womb, oh, what's this? Man, there's someone else in here with me, man. Oh, smack something and something smacks me. It's a foot. I think I've got to visualize this. Towards there before being born, there was this level of understanding, this feeling. Not seeing so much, but more feeling. Yeah, there's someone else in here with me. Give me this. This is my umbilical cord. No, it's mine. No, it's mine. It's mine. It's mine. Anyway, just funny things like that with twins. And therefore, does it teach more twins to be more feely? More feel the world with the mind as opposed to... And that's why I think resonating, that's like a resonating factor, that I resonated with my sister while inside mum. There's a resonating factor. And then some children, if they're talked to by dad, some men, not all, just not knocking this, just hear me out, is some men don't talk to the womb when the baby is developing. I did. And, you're hello in there, you little, hello, are you in there, just doing all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff with the belly and that, and it's like, whoa, this dude is crazy. But when I spoke, it calmed Litland down. Just my voice in the room calmed Litland down, because there was a lot more vocal resonating going on. And then some dads that don't do that, when they walk in the room and talk, the baby starts crying. It's not because they don't like you, it's because this is a new voice. I don't hear this very much now.
Know you, yeah.
Do you know, this, oh, what's this? Because everything's done so quietly and gently, you know. Are you okay? You're right, my love. You know, we like talk around like we're in a library when some pregnant woman walks in the room. But if you're talking quite loudly, that voice is resonating. Certain music, certain songs, play it, play it, play it, play it, play it. Hearing, vibration, feeling before anything else. That reptilian part of us, to feel. To feel. This activates another part of the brain, I'm sure of it, that does usually get shut down. The feeling, the vibration of the voice, therefore calming. Do you know what, the one thing that most children of mums that have been cook and clean and do all of the stuff while they were pregnant, do you know the one resonating factor that most children liked is the sound of a hoover?
Yeah, I always like to.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Most kids like the sound of a hoover. The first initial turn it on and it might make them jump, and then that might cause a response. But go out of the room. You see, I used to do it differently. I used to plug the hoover in on an extension lead through another room, take Litland with me, and go and turn it on at the socket further away, and then we walk into that noise. Less of that shock factor. Did you get what I mean? So turn it on, unplugged, take the plug with you, put it into the wall, and then turn it on at the switch from further away. So the hoover was in the kitchen, and then you're plugging this into the bedroom. Then you turn it on. With Litland on your side, and yeah, single dad. That what you're called? Yeah. So little Bubba and all the rest of it. So learning to not scare Litland too much. And then we walk into that noise as it gets louder, and then it's more like, oh, what is that? More curious now, rather than shock treatment of first turn it on. Because I could try and say, I'm going to turn on the hoover. Goo goo gee gee gaga. Gaga gaga ooh. Okay, you're clearly not understanding yet. So we talk with body language. How we're going to put this on in here. Huh? What's that noise? You can hear something in the distance. Oh, what's that? Ooh, what's that? You know, they can copy, children copy you, mimic what you do. Ooh, what is that? Shall we go see? Yeah. We get louder. Noisy. 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 Noisy is. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, now we go in. We're getting louder, louder, louder. Oh, hoover. Then pick it up and then, yeah, do a quick see. Want to go? Try, and it doesn't really move very much, but still, you know. Now I can put you into your walker for a second. Want to do it now, you know. Got to be careful because it's a hoover and obviously can be very dangerous for a kid if it comes off and it's too suction power. Some of them can be turned down with the suction. That's where it's a little bit more safer. So safety then has to play a role in that, obviously. And still, then it's hoover comes on and it's no longer a problem. It's no longer an issue. But you turn it on, do you know what I mean? It's going to be a cry response. Fear is going to be instilled. And now they feel fearful of the hoover. It mostly resonates in most kids when they grow up. They kind of like the sound. You say it, I had it. I love that white noise. Yeah, anyway, so I'm going to leave this one right here because I think I covered, no, I didn't even scratch the iceberg, to be honest. I barely took some just little frost scrapings off the top of the iceberg here when making this video. This is just very little on that area, but it's where I come from. That's what I feel, and I think that dads that are not around, mum while she's pregnant and different stuff like that, interacting with baby, expect the baby to cry when you talk, or when you walk into a room. You're unfamiliar. You're not familiar. So if you want a resonating factor, talk more, but nicely to the child, inside the womb. And therefore, baby will be feeling this vibration. And now, if it's been feeling it from the day that it's been developing and developing and growing and developing and growing and developing and growing, your voice will resonate as a calming, remind me of the womb days. Okay, I feel safe. Not, oh, but who's talking? Ma! You know, so there's a lot we do and we don't do, and we this, that, and the other. I reckon in ancient times it used to be the crackle of a fire. This sound was more resonating to the human population because the Aboriginals were around fires, keeping warm. A warming effect, crackling of the fire. That's why it's so majestic. That has been the longest in our evolution, and therefore we find it so fascinating. You ever notice with people with firefighters, I take my hat off to you, just sit there and not just watch it and be like, ooh, that's nice. Shh, you've got a job to do and put that out, and you've got to suppress a lot of that instinct of watch it burn sort of thing, you know? They really got to suppress. That's hard to do that, but they do a fantastic job. There you are. That's where that is. So, yeah, resonating. Man, and all of this came from here? It's crazy, okay? Well, no, it's not crazy. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. I love it.